Just isn't my day, is it? Let me just stick this bad boy in. Right, that's my phone charging at least. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I am stuck here in Stansted for a whole fucking hour because the Stansted Express, fuck you Stansted Express, ended up slowing down as we were approaching Stansted Airport, which did not give me enough time to run to the train. Therefore, I am stuck here for an hour, waiting for my train home. But it is what it is. Not much I can do about it, but there are definitely some things that need to be discussed as far as the London demonstration is concerned. So I might as well do that while I'm here. At least that will kill the time a little bit. So there was a hell of a lot of people that turned out in Waterloo Station, and of course ultimately what's the place called? Sandal Street. Quite a lot of people indeed. And I had a great time. I did. It's just my body wasn't letting me have it. That's all. But I did enjoy speaking to some of you people. I did enjoy shaking hands and striking up conversation. Thankfully, no strokes, which is a good thing, because I don't need more strokes in this time at this point, because I will lose my mind, quite frankly. But there was perhaps maybe the odd thing I would say that was a little bit off. Other than that, it all went smoothly. I can see you all coming in. I hope you're all doing well. So the one thing that happened that I only got a brief glimpse of was there was somebody who kicked off with the stewards, I believe, because their girlfriend apparently trailed behind, and basically this guy was trying to ask for them to let her through, which obviously nobody deserves special treatment. Hello there, Ellie. Hello there, Nenad. Hello, Sagnik. And anyone else who is in right now. And thank you for the sub, I appreciate it. But I don't think, other than that, there was really anything that truly went wrong with this protest. I wish I got more recordings, because there was some I had to miss because my legs were just not having it. Hello, Steve. How you doing? I'm a little bummed out at the fact that I literally missed the Norwich train by a matter of about 20 to 30 seconds. But other than that, I'm okay. I'm still alive. That's the main thing. Gravitational pull. You know, I keep trying to... Oh, hang on. Is this a troll here? We know what we do with trolls here. Unless he has something else more constructive to say. I'll give him about 10 seconds. Bye-bye. That's the thing. We take out the trash here and we put it in the dustbin of history. If you're going to chat here, you have the right to speak, but what you don't have the right to do is to disrespect people. And I reserve the right to remove trash from my chat. As far as the event itself, definitely say it's a solid 8. There was even more people than I was expecting up there. I must admit, though, I thought I was going to get crushed when I started sitting down. Yeah. But as I said, we get rid of trolls here. But I digress. I don't think, other than that one incident that I mentioned where this guy was kicking off because his girlfriend got left behind, I don't think there was anything that went wrong with it, quite frankly. A lot of speakers that came up. I think the two main people that really impressed me was the very first speaker, who I did manage to record, thankfully. And I think the other one I recorded as well. But there was there was a Hemes, you know who I mean, a Hemes person who got attacked. Hemes attack survivor. I'll get my words eventually. I'm surprised I didn't have a stroke trying to say that. But the way I slice it, the fact that they were able to basically sort themselves out and, of course, get a good one in the nuts on one of these terror scumbags. Oh, yeah. That was good. As far as the camera's concerned, sometimes it does lose focus. Sometimes I do have trouble trying to record, especially during night hours, but obviously we're lighted here, so I can actually have some semblance of a chance to get this going. But the way I slice it, my next train, as I said, is coming in an hour. So I'm basically sitting here for another fucking hour, which I was hoping to be home by 8 o'clock, which fortunately is now going to be looking like 9 o'clock. So there you go. I'm getting old. That's what it is. No, I'm not going to say it's because I'm overweight, because that means I have to take responsibility. Anyway, there are lots of people up at that protest. A lot of speakers, including... Where can we watch it? No, I didn't speak up on stage this time. No, that was way back. I believe it was either 2020 or 2021, something like that I spoke on stage, and that was in Salford, not Sandal Street, and we ended up walking down to Whitehall. That was where it all went. 8 strokes, no. Fuck off. No strokes, please. I want to keep it a stroke-free stream. But I'm pretty content with the way this all went out. I am pretty satisfied with the fact that nobody, other than that one guy, kicked off. Everything was peaceful. Everything was exactly as I'd hoped. I would say there are a lot of bigger YouTubers right now who are probably reporting on this and probably saying the same thing, that there wasn't really any kicking off or anything. There may have been a bit of trouble, devil's advocate here, there may have been a bit of trouble trying to get people to move behind the stewards so that we could actually start the march in the first place, but that was mainly because there was so many damn people coming along that basically it was very, very difficult for them to effectively move back a lot in the first place. The Constitution is a very, very needed thing. As far as the beer lodger, I don't drink alcohol. I'm probably one of those saintly people who, I don't do drugs, except the paracetamol, of course, because we've got to make sure we look after the tooth. I don't do smoking, I don't do drugs, I don't do alcohol. The only thing I specialise in, as I said, is the strokes, but thankfully I haven't had any of those yet, and here's to hoping I don't. But the vandalism by the plasticine people, I mean, let's face it, it's probably a lot of old news, to be honest. But the way I slice it, the plasticine people, they need to be dealt with in a very efficient manner, a robust manner, one where we, metaphorically speaking, take out the trash and ideally place it in the dustbin of history, because that's where it rightfully belongs, alongside Keir the traitor Starmer. So, yeah, the way I slice it. The other protest, I believe, said there was around 500, and they were being generous there as well. But they basically didn't see anything. They didn't really do much that could say, oh, well, they're clearly outclassing us. No, they didn't. Mind you, are we really surprised? They're a bunch of bloody NPCs that come down, they're paid money or free food and all that shit to come down. Whereas we come down, most of us, including myself, out of our own pocket. 137 quid out of pocket, to be precise. And that's excluding the food I had to buy, obviously, to see the tea. Because I dealt with breakfast, I dealt with lunch, but I didn't actually deal with the last one. So, probably the only real thing extra that I had to get a hold of. Oh, and of course the battery bank I got yesterday, and I'm, well, wearing new shoes, because anybody who saw my last video, basically the sole on the top of my right foot, there was a fuck off great big hole, 2 of them in fact, so you could basically, you could end up sticking your whole bloody hand through there. So yeah, we had to go get some new shoes for that. But as far as exhausted, no, I'm not exhausted. Maybe my legs are, but that's about it. Other than that, I'm fine. Not tired at all. But it was quite satisfying. I think the only bit of running I did try to do was literally trying to get the bus from Stansted to Norwich, but unfortunately, As I said, I was half a minute late. And that was mainly the fucking Stansted Express fault. Fuck you. Fuck you for slowing down and losing me the 30, 60 seconds I needed to run my fat ass up here. Quite frankly, fuck you, Stansted Express. Oh dear. But I can't be too hard on them, it's not their fault. Obviously, they're trying to just follow protocols and all that shit. But it doesn't change the fact I've now got to sit here for a whole fucking hour. At least this will kind of take my mind off of it, because obviously I'm chatting to you guys and telling you what's going on, but the bottom line is I should have been able to get that that train home and actually do this at home. Will English show the English Constitution? We'll have to see. The way I see it, if I wanted to speak up on stage, I probably would have wanted about maybe 90 seconds at most. I wouldn't have asked much, because I don't believe I should be having both of myself on that stage hogging up the limelight for too long, quite frankly. But Tommy Robinson and the 3,200 political prisoners, they all should be released. They should not be in jail. They should be as far away from that jail as possible, and I dare say compensated for being politically persecuted. That's the way I slice it. Do I think we can turn this country around? I think we can, but I worry about the methods we may have to use to do it. And let me be clear, as I've always done, I do not want it to go down the dark path, as it were. I do not want it to go down to basically overthrowing the government. I see we've got another one. Bye-bye. But we've basically... Oh, actually, I'll tell you what. Greg brings up a good point, actually, because there's actually a little story I want to tell you that I had. I think it was actually on the way home from a protest, actually, no less. But it was that very comment that this little NPC left us. Basically, I think there was a white kid and a black kid. We were at Castle Meadow, and I was waiting around the bus stop where the 11's come along, I believe. And this black kid decided he was going to come up to me and say, why do I look like Peter Griffin? Why do I look like basically the racist fat white guy? And what's ironic about this is, who is it that usually says that hither or whither are racist? It's the establishment. And yet I had some twat, to put it simply, that came up to me and started being basically openly racist towards me, quite frankly. Like Meg... Oh, here we go. I hope that's just trolling, but that is actually what happened. This kid was like that, and he should be thankful that I didn't want to beat him up, because obviously that's illegal, but I did want to put him in his place. But I thought, no, you know what, you're not even worth the time. You're not even worth the oxygen. So I just left him as is. I'll give this one guy one chance to say something a bit more constructive, and if he doesn't, it'll be bye-bye. Seems like all of the NPCs on the left wing are actually coming out. Oh wow, they are all coming out, aren't they? Jesus. We don't deal with trolls here. We take out the trash. But the way I see this protest that went on, I'd say very successful. Very, very successful indeed. I know, I don't try to give them too much time. 34, by the way, James. But the way I see it, these people that go out of their way on the other fucking god damn, stroke number one, on the other side of the protests, because they are protesting, these people, they only know how to throw out the name tags, project, and complain and moan. And let's face it, if a lot of these people weren't being paid by the establishment, they wouldn't turn up. They'd be gone. Just like that. You know why? Because they don't have any fucking principles. They have no principles, no integrity, no nothing. We stand on the right side of history. We will free Tommy Robinson, one way or another, no matter what it takes. Apparently they're saying that he was sentenced to 18 months in prison, cut down to 9. If that's the case, then it's pretty disgusting that he's been sentenced to 18 months, which makes it even worse if we put it like that. Because, think about it. I originally said if he's been jailed for 9 months to be released only at the end of that sentence, when he should get a 50% reduction. If it is actually just he's been sentenced to 18 and he's having to serve 9, okay, he's getting the reduction, but it doesn't change the fact that Tommy Robinson should not be in prison in the first place, because all he did was put out the truth that was already leaked by the Americans. They were leaked out, it was leaked out by the Americans, and even though Tommy Robinson was willing to comply with this draconian gagging order, mind you, ironically, he was actually dragged through the courts, wasn't he? Anyway, the fact that he was willing to go through this gagging order and accept it, even though it was draconian, proves how much of a bigger man that he is above all these people in the establishment. And exactly, all these people in jail, and literally, we have degenerates that are walking. Oh, there we go. We're back. Lost connection. But we basically have all these people going out of their way to commit these atrocious crimes to the kids. We have people going out with knives, machetes and all that, trying to hack each other to pieces. We have people on the left who are literally justifying this kind of thing. What has Tommy ever done? Tommy is fighting to expose the grooming gangs. He is fighting to expose a corrupt establishment. That's what he's been doing. And no, it's not stroke 2, it's 1. But anyway, he has done a lot more for this country than I think a lot of us ever could, to be honest. If it weren't for Tommy, a lot of these grooming gang issues, they'd be swept under the rug. The establishment, Keir the traitor Starmer, the police, the mainstream media, they'd be doing all they can to keep that from the public eye. That's what he's done. Have you got any more questions for me? Because that's the thing. I'm willing to have a chat with people who are on the other side of this, as long as they remain respectful. I only have a problem with the people who basically want to be malicious, vile scumbags. So I'm offering you a chance to have this debate if you want to try again, Vale. Because let me be clear, you have the right to freedom of speech. What you don't have the right to is to start treating others like shit. But we need to do something about this. We need to do something that involves ideally peace, but I am worried that we should be focusing on preparing for war, because I think war is heading our way, whether we want it or not. Think about it. All those illegal immigrants who are coming over to the United Kingdom, a lot of these illegals that are being housed in our hotels are at our cost. And we're seeing, in some cases, there are people who are suggesting that they are actually receiving weapons while they're inside these hotels. Now, whether or not this is true is questionable. But what I do know is that if it really was true and they are being armed with weapons, whether it's guns, machetes and what have you, Keir the traitor Starmer doesn't need our own military, because his own little private army is being brought in over shore from their third world shitholes. That's the cold, bitter truth on it. So even if the British people were to revolt, I think we would still be in a fair bit of trouble, because these people that have come over from the Middle East in particular will have had military training, because you can mask a lot under someone. 100%, we need to be questioning our government. We need to be questioning everything at this point. We can't trust the mainstream media. We can't trust the government. I can't even get the words out now. We can't trust the police, because we've seen who they protect. And how many pronouns? Nope. only two genders, he or she. There isn't any more than that, not even obesity, which I know some people would like to use. But I can tell you right now, Bookie, they're not in this for money. They are not in this for money at all. In fact, I will go a step further here. Tommy is not doing this for money at all. He is dependent on Urban Scoop to pay him a salary right now because he's not allowed to have money because they've declared him bankrupt. They've basically had to go through the lawfare system to bankrupt Tommy so he isn't able to have any money. I think now at this point there is nothing else that you can truly provide. So I'll give you about 30 seconds and then we'll be saying time to take out the trash again. But the way I slice it, I don't want a violent revolution. I don't want us to resort to overthrowing the government. I want it to end peacefully. But I think the cold bitter truth is we may not be able to. Like hell, when I was speaking to some of these people inside, zero tolerance, inside this protest, some of these people were saying to me that we can't keep being peaceful, that we can't keep doing this. Some of these people were saying revolution or overthrow. Some of these people were saying, as far as Keir the traitor Starmer is concerned, and this is probably the only point I do agree on, because he should be sentenced for treason to hang. But they were saying that he needs to be hung, quite frankly, which is about the only thing I just about agree with. The bottom line, as far as Keir the traitor Starmer, is he's got two choices. He can either resign and keep what little dignity he has left and keep any semblance of a chance of living a life intact, or he can continue down this path where he continues antagonizing the British people and he continues slandering us, disrespecting us, doing blatant two-tier governing, allowing two-tier policing, and allowing the torture of Tommy Robinson, and then we're going to resort to actions they are not going to like. But I welcome everyone who's coming in to tune into this. I hope you're all doing well at any rate, like I've said before. Like, we have other peaceful options that we can do. Civil disobedience. We could stop paying taxes. We can just all down tools and just go on a massive strike. We could literally bring this government, bring this country to its fucking knees just by downing tools. Because after all, how is a government supposed to run without taxpayer money? How is a government supposed to run when all of its workers have stopped working? Ask yourself that. What are they going to do? Are they going to ask the illegals who basically have no legal or human right to be here to do it? They'll force you. I'd love them to fucking try, quite frankly. They can try to force us. They will not be able to stop us all. They will not be able to control the entire British Revolution. That's the way I slice it. Keir the traitor Starmer has only got one army, and that is the Islamic army, the one that he said he will do everything he can to protect all of the Muslim community. And let me be clear, for anybody who's tuning in thinking, because I said that, I'm a racist. But I am not against Muslims as a whole. I am against the ideologues who follow the extremist ideology of Sunni Islam. I am against the people who do not tolerate or integrate with our society. Those who practice the extreme side of Islam, the translation of Islam is submission, or submit, or surrender. Basically, they don't want to integrate with our society. They want to kill us all. And Keir the traitor Starmer is more than content to let that happen. I don't know about you, but I'm not. I am not willing to let some dictator, or maybe I was right first time, control our country. I'm not going to let some dictator let all these Islamic extremists come along and just bury us into the ground. They are not going to last the whole year. Keir the traitor Starmer won't last the whole year. None of us are going to allow it. One way or another, he's going to be gone. I don't want it to be in the wrong way, though. We must try to keep the moral high ground, because the lefties love it so much when they have that. How they always tell us, they always emotionally blackmail us and say, oh, think of the children, don't you want to see them safe and sound? Yeah, what about our fucking children? I put that to you. What about our children? Look after our own. Look after your own people first. I think their lives are a lot more important than looking after the people who are coming over to invade this country, quite frankly. Stop the inbreeding. No, 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 no. We do not want the boats. We need to keep the boats turned back. We need to turn all the boats back. Or better still, if we can't turn the boats back, we need to stop all benefits from all people coming in for 5 years. 5. I'm not exaggerating. Because here's the thing. Why do you think these people come over here? Do you think they come over here? Do you think they actually come over here because they love us? Of course they don't. They come here because we're soft touch. Soft as velvet. What we need is an iron glove. And that white dove that somehow walked in here. Anyway, we need an iron fist approach to this. We need to stop all benefits from all people that are coming to this country until such time as they've paid into the system, proven they're not complete scumbags, and proven to us that they are willing to integrate. Own people to blame. Well, you know what? That's one thing I can actually agree with you on. Our people are to blame. The people to blame are Keir the traitor Starmer, David the conman Cameron, Tony the war criminal Blair, Boris the clown Johnson, just to name a few. So you know what? I do agree with you at that point. Our people are to blame. We have spineless politicians who haven't got the balls, whether up here or down there, or of course in my case both, to be able to make some of these tough decisions. If we actually had a strong leader, like, and I know it's controversial, but Margaret Thatcher, she was an iron lady. She had a backbone. All these other politicians, they're invertebrates. They've got about as much spine as a wet noodle, quite frankly, and without any of the good texture of it. These people who call themselves politicians are merely scumbags of the highest order. There are only a select few politicians that actually represent us, The rest of them, they piss all over us. They literally look at us, they laugh at us, and they continue living their lavish lifestyles while we suffer. Charity, indeed it does, Steve. Charity starts at home, precisely. We can start being kinder by protecting our own kids. We can start being kinder by making sure our own people are looked after first. We will not continue to let our children be violated and persecuted by career politicians and a so-called religion of peace, when they're not really, when they are literally going out of their way to destroy our country. We do not want that. We need to put an end to this. Hello, everybody who is coming in. But that's what we need to do. We need a snap election. We need Keir the traitor Starmer and his nonce party, Labour Party, or again, maybe I was right first time, but we need his nonce party out. We need all of his cronies out. We need all those political prisoners released forthwith, a public apology and compensation given to them for all the undeserved time spent in prison. I recommend about £1,000 a day would be appropriate. That way, at least these people will learn very quickly that they should not politically persecute us. And ultimately, we need to cut the benefits of the illegal migrants. We have to do something that says, if you come to this country, you will not be welcome here in this manner. Or, if we can't do that, cut the benefits. If you come over here, you're not going to receive benefits, and you're going to have to fend for yourself. Let's see how they like that. Oh, they'd stop coming very fucking quickly if we did that one. Let me tell you. Because then they wouldn't be able to sponge off our system. They wouldn't get a free hotel. They wouldn't get 3 square meals a day. Traditional bricklayer? I was hoping to see him myself. I didn't see him at all. I saw Paz. I saw Richard Inman. I saw Paul Thorpe. I saw Maya Toosey. I didn't really see anyone else, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's the way I look at it. But it seems that Richard Inman has now decided that reform is no longer the answer. Instead, the answer lies squarely with UKIP. But devil's advocate here, and this is someone who prefers UKIP, by the way. Devil's advocate, it may be we have to vote reform for the time being because they are the biggest party we have. But I'm worried that there are too many strings attached, as it were. I think we've got too many potential controlled opposition puppets that are fronting reform, quite frankly. I think we have to do something about this. I think the way I look at it, I'll do one message to Farage very quickly, and that is, we're not asking you to kiss Tommy's ass. We're not asking you to invite him into the party. We're not asking you to make like Tommy's the King of England. That's not what we're asking. What we are asking is that you don't go out of your way to libelously slander the man with blatant lies and continue to attack the guy when he hasn't even done anything to you. He endorsed you the whole fucking way, Farage. And you want to sit here and be like, oh, he's just a far-right racist thug. And he was a woman beater, even though you knew that wasn't true. So, the way I look at it, I think Reform have done this to themselves. Donald Tusk, no, we don't need a Donald Tusk. We need a fucking Donald Trump, if anything. But I suspect that may have been who you mean. Maybe autocorrected it. You know, I've seen some funny videos of like how you try to say certain things and an autocorrect comes in and fucks up your life and everything. Like, I only pinged the wrong person, and then it changes to, I pinged the fattest person on earth, or I know 5 fat people and you're 4 of them. You know, that kind of shit. But jokes aside, the bottom line, it's time for us to take action. It's time for, oh shit, is that actually the train? Oh, it might be time for me to go then. Oh, fuck me. So, yeah, better get going. Thanks for watching, guys. Been a pleasure as always. And touch wood, I should be able to get home nice and safely. And then I'll post up on YouTube in one of the comments and what have you and let you know that I'm basically home safely. But I shouldn't have been waiting this fucking hour in the first place. I should have been at home being able to play my games because I've had enough of being out here in the freezing fucking cold. So, yeah, just double check. Yeah, that's definitely one. So, wish you all good morning, afternoon, evening. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.